and welcome to another God is a Geek conference impressions. We are looking at the Microsoft conference from last night and Bethesda's from 5 a.m. this morning, which I'm sure no one was actually up for, and probably shouldn't have bothered anyway. But the Microsoft conference on the whole was pretty spectacular. I'm fairly sure most of the guys on here will agree with me. So let's get chatting. And we have Mr. Adam Cook today. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thanks. You?
Good. Are we carrying that on? Are we?
I'm still stuck up there. I'm still stuck up high. Yeah. All right.
Cool. We've got Gary. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks.
Brilliant. Good stuff. Nick, how are you?
Very well. Very well.
And we've got
ready for a
we've got
fry.
Dan as well. Yes. Don't you worry. We'll get there. And Dan, how are you, mate?
I must say, I'm a bit knackered because Christ fucking live. Me and David were doing the news on this last night and shit the bed. It was stressful as fuck. Couldn't keep up with it at all. Like game after game.
I'll tell you what, mate. It was beautiful. Like Slack was just amazing.
Mate, I was longing for the time when they just had wankers in suits coming out every 2 minutes and talking about shit.
Can we draw attention to the fact that what's his face, the EA guy, Soderling? Is it Soderbergh? I can't remember his bloody name. You know, the EA guy spent more time talking, I reckon, than Phil did all night.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I do like Phil.
I do. I think it's impossible not to like him.
I like him a lot.
He looks like the wrestler Roderick Strong. Just clocked.
He looks like an embarrassing dad.
Dad, yep.
Mate, Google Roderick Strong and tell me he doesn't look like this guy.
Oh, hang on. Will that upset if you can hear me typing?
I don't know.
I've got a dog barking, so I think we're past the pale at this point.
We got to talk about I nearly said Scorpio.
Kind of. See? Yeah, he doesn't look like an embarrassing dad, though, does he? Phil Spencer's embarrassing dad.
See, I think Phil looks like the dad you imagine yourself to be.
Yeah,
like
but totally
kind of cool dad is into because I'm kind of like, you know. My kids get all the games in that early, and I'm kind of like the cool dad who doesn't, my dad works at Nintendo. So I like Phil. I think he seems like a lovely chap.
Yeah.
Likeable.
Wearing a cool gaming t-shirt and a blazer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. She says as I sit here wearing an Overwatch t-shirt.
Have you got a blazer on though, Adam? That's the important question.
No, it's too warm for a blazer.
So the conference started off with the announcement of the Project Scorpio or the Xbox One X. And apparently, I don't know if you heard, but it's the most powerful console out there. I don't think they mentioned it at all.
The teraflops.
But
how many teraflops?
You know what? Oh man,
6 of
so many flops.
6 teraflops and mega loads of gigabyte of
8 million
bandwidth.
pixels,
all about them
HDR, Dolby
transistors.
Atmos. Yeah. They can talk about how many specs all they want, but to look at it like that opening in which I'm going to let Gary take the floor on this one, Forza Motorsport 7.
Yes.
That was just looked like something else. I was kind of blown away by it. But the actual Forza Motorsport 7 itself, what do you take on that, Gary? How obviously you've been looking forward to it, and what are your thoughts?
I want it now.
now. Just ignore the whole Porsche thing because fuck that.
Come on, now that is a nice. I thought that was a nice car.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck.
It's not exactly the stage for it.
Isn't it? I mean, it's kind of like, look at our massive, expensive. It's our expensive console, this expensive car, these shiny graphics. I think it fit.
No, no.
I thought it fit all right. I thought it made sense to me. They always do it. They did it last year, didn't they?
They did it 2 years ago, I think.
Didn't they suspend it from the ceiling?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think they had the Ford GT. I think that was.
Who cares?
Yeah, it was the last Forza 6.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't get that. But
okay.
The actual game itself looks great. It had some of the stuff that I wanted from it as well, like the dynamic weather and that kind of thing.
That looked stunning.
And even on stream, yeah.
That was, oh my god, like the rain on the lens and stuff, and then the sunset in the background. It looks amazing. It does look amazing.
Yeah, I'm well into that, and fairly soon as well.
Yeah, October 3rd, yeah.
Another October,
so that's not long to wait at all.
See, as you know, I'm not really into racing games, but I was watching that a bit open-mouthed, because it just looks a bit sexual, doesn't it, with them graphics?
Very.
Them graphics, man.
I'm with you, Nick. I won't play it, because I can appreciate the mainline Forza games.
Yeah.
Totally appreciate them. I've reviewed a few of them in my time, and I totally think they're great games. But I prefer arcadey stuff more.
Same.
Like if you're telling me that was Forza Horizon 4 that looks that good, I would be jumping through hoops to play it.
Yeah.
I can totally appreciate it. I probably won't play that game. Well, I might just to see how it looks. Do you know what I mean?
I won't. I mean,
No, fair play.
I'll probably sit and salivate at it and
Yeah.
look at my husband and go, "Look at those graphics, man! Look at those graphics!" But then I won't play it. No.
I put 600 hours into Forza 6, so
That's impressive.
I'm putting more into this.
So
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
Forza is your Overwatch?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I didn't think I'd put that much into it, to be honest,
Wow.
but yeah, I had a lot.
Fair
fair,
enough.
it's over 2 years, so yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair, mate. You got your money's worth, that's for sure.
See,
I did
that's
think it was a bit of a
So,
slow
next
start
up-
for the conference as it went. I thought
Yeah.
I thought the
It was,
console
it was,
reveal
yeah.
did it wrong. I thought they got too many people like speaking bullshit. They got a car out
Yeah.
which no one cares about. The racing itself did look really pretty, I must say, but slow start. But after the slow start, when we get to a good old Metro, I think
But-
it definitely picked up from that.
But they also did say that it was going to run over 90 minutes. So it's
Mate, it was
like...
like 2 hours, wasn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, but so that it was never going to be like, oh, we have to rush to fit this in. That they moved their conference day, and it was very clear it was going to be like, do you know what? We don't really care what's going on anywhere else. This is our briefing right now, and we're going to spend as long as we feel like
I
on it. And they
definitely
did.
felt it was a lot more. There was a little bit more confidence about it. I
Yeah.
think. I thought Phil Spencer, like you say, he hardly said anything at all.
Yeah, you didn't need to.
And exactly, and he just had that little kind of wry grin on his face. I thought he said, almost like you keep asking for games. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't stop really for probably a good, I'd say a good hour and maybe
An hour
20
and a
minutes
half.
or an
Yeah,
hour.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, how much? I mean, if you could kind of dissect it down, there really wasn't a lot of talking, was there? There was probably
No,
maybe
there really
15
wasn't,
minutes
no.
or so.
Yeah, it definitely got better once the first thing got out of the way. I think the only concern is like it was great watching it. I think I said on the preview, like it doesn't matter what's what and when it comes out as long as you show it because it just gets people excited. But I feel like speaking like critically, I don't think they had that many actual games that were just theirs. I think obviously. Well, not Microsoft's not even just theirs. Maybe that Lucky's Tale, the rip-off of... Well, not rip-off, but literally just taking Tails from Sonic and giving him his own little platformer. I think that was their only
I
proper
think, I was a
exclusive.
bit... I wanted some clarification on that because they kept saying like world exclusive or console exclusive.
There was like loads of
or
launch,
launch
first with Xbox.
and it's like,
A
hang
lot
on
of
a
it's
second,
launch,
are you
yeah.
actually saying this is, just a timed exclusive? That the language was, I
Yeah,
think,
a lot
deliberately
of them are
bit
timed.
confusing, wasn't it? The language.
Like Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Battlegrounds is a timed launch
Yeah.
exclusive. Super Lucky's Tale is... I think that was actually exclusive.
Yeah, that was the only
I was
actual
watching that
exclusive on
confused.
Forza.
Because I've played Lucky's Tale in Oculus VR,
Okay.
and I was confused watching this because it's there's a game on PlayStation VR. It's as part of the Playroom thing where it's like again it's a 3D platformer, but the camera is you because you're wearing the goggles, and it's it's basically the same thing. But Lucky's Tale is quite good, not amazing, quite good, but it seemed a weird game to be showing because I'm thinking, so is this their way of showing VR? And then you realise, no, it's just a 3D platformer. Then they've just, obviously, the developer obviously retained IP ownership, and after Oculus published Lucky's Tale, now Xbox are publishing Super Lucky's Tale.
Hey, it looks great, to be fair. It looks like what
not going
ukulele
to blow
should
you
be.
away.
Like a bit more linear third-person, 3D platformer. I thought it looked really nice.
Again, if it's like the Oculus one, it's all right. It's not amazing. It's certainly not bad. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But just a weird one.
But I mean, a lot of these games had release dates, and they are in like either the next few months or within the year, which I was quite impressed with.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to Sony, and there's some good games at last year's conference, but we're not going to see them for a while.
It's nice to see a game and go, oh, that looks amazing, and then they go and you'll be playing it this year, and you go, oh, that's cool. Now I haven't got to wait for it. Oh, that looks amazing, and I'm playing it this year. That's a nice thing to watch a briefing and see regularly.
Yeah, definitely. But one of the games that kind of kicked off the conference, as Dan mentioned, and I heard Gary say something about Metro Exodus. Now, that was gameplay, right? That was.
I don't know. It seemed a bit scripted.
No.
Because
It's
I
scripted
felt
gameplay,
Vertical
It had to
slice.
Because
Yes.
the enemies in Metro were bullet sponges. There's no one-hit kills in that.
Also, there's no HUD. There's no HUD in it, was there?
No.
And that the bit where he's fighting that big thing at the end,
mutant mole.
like when and he kind of slips off the edge of the cliff. I was like, that's quite dynamic, and it didn't feel.
Well,
like
it's
that
an
would
open world
actually
game,
happen.
isn't it? So
Yeah, I was
we would
just
like
saying,
to
it looks
assume
like-
there are
Yeah.
dynamic possibilities in an open world game. Otherwise, what's the point in it being an open world?
Yeah,
it looks like
and
they're
I'd
taking
really
open
like that
world.
to be the case.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It is open world. Yeah.
I thought it looked great.
Yeah.
I
It
think
did look good though, didn't it?
it looked amazing. I think my
very.
only concern is that it might just go kind of the same open world route that every game's doing at the minute, where you have locations, you just scout them out, you go in and do it, and I hope not, and hopefully the enemies and the landscape will change up a bit. But I'm worried a little bit.
My worry with that, Dan, I've got worries as well, but my worry with that is, like, that to me screamed Killzone / Witcher 3 when they were first announced and looked like jaw to the floor. Like this, how is this a thing? I would be real. I know the Metro games have always looked really good.
Yeah.
And I know that the Xbox One X is like 4K 60 and all that, but I'd be real shocked if that game comes out and looks like that on a home console. Like, real shocked.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it looked great.
Yeah,
I should say, I'm not.
tasty.
It looked really, really good and interesting. And the Metro series is a series I've always wanted to spend time with, but just never. It's just never sort of aligned
gelled.
right.
Yeah, it's not gelled.
Yeah,
with me.
it feels
just bored me.
same. Yeah,
I was always too scared. Can't deal with
I
that.
read the book as well, and that was a fucking slog. It's really boring book. I don't know how I made it through to the end, and the games were kind of the same. You know, it was just the idea is really good, and the setting I like, but it just never really went anywhere.
Yeah.
I've
What about you,
got
Chris?
that edition,
Sorry.
you know, the Metro 2033
Yes,
in the
that's
last light, and
I've got that.
it's in my pile.
Same.
I might go back and have a go now that there's another one coming out.
Well, it just, to me, this looks like a Chris game.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very keen to play it. I did like because I got, was it Redux?
Yeah, Redux.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
the one.
Because it was in the sale like a while ago, and I played them, and I really enjoyed them. I think I have tried to read the books. It's by a Russian author, isn't it? It's quite it is quite a slog. I can't be arsed with stuff like that.
Why are they? What makes them a slog? Because I've not
heavy.
obviously.
It's probably the language translation. Russian is. I understand. I don't speak Russian, but I understand it's quite a difficult language to translate, and there's a lot of kind of heavy. I mean, I haven't read the Metro books either. I just know from experience of Russian text that the language is the language use is quite different. It's quite heavy sentence structures and
the story could be told in half the book. Yeah. I feel like it goes on a bit.
So it's not heavy in the way like Sartre's Nausea is or something. It's
not really. No, it's just
complicated.
Yeah,
sentences.
it's just a lot of text.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm too stupid for that. So yeah, but the game, I mean, it's early days. We can't really say much because we don't really know, and it's like a lot of these games. They all look nice, but until we actually see some gameplay. But I kind of want to bring me on to Assassin's Creed Origins because we did see gameplay.
I'm ready.
And
I wasn't until the last part of that gameplay, and then I was ready. Because at first, when you see it, because I was expecting drastic changes, and it just looks like Ubisoft are just taking the mechanics from every game. Like that is the that eagle is the drone from Wildlands.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
but
that's the thing I'm worried about is, like I said with Metro,
it's a conglomerate, isn't it?
Yeah, this just easy structure.
But by the end,
going in.
it looked. I don't know what it is. It just looked. By the end of that gameplay, I felt like I'd seen enough little things that had changed that made me go, okay, maybe I and I know it sounds silly, but the idea of there being skill trees and shit that are a little bit more forthright, like they can be enough of a hook sometimes to keep you playing. Whereas sometimes with the last two Assassin's Creeds I've started, and I'm not going to fucking pretend I thought Unity was a good game, and then I just dropped off of it. And Syndicate, I thought this is a good game, and then I just dropped off of it. Finished neither of them because there was never quite the hook to keep me going, and I don't know why. I mean, hopefully this has got it.
I mean, it looks like as you say, I mean, the last Syndicate, I can't remember when I thought you could just buy weapons and you would get them that way. I didn't think you could pick them up off people. Like in the trailer, when the gameplay, he picked up like a new bow and it replaced his old bow. So it's a bit like games like The Witcher.
Couldn't pick him up in Syndicate.
Yeah, exactly. I thought so, and that's kind of cool. I like that, and I like the combat at the end. Looked quite cool with the arrow. I don't know if that's you will follow the arrow through to your target, like like sniper.
Do you ever feel watching some of that stuff? So, for example, when you see, I don't know, I mean, it looks like the eagle's just soaring all the time, and you can press a button. Yeah. So, like with the eagle and with the bow and arrow, where you fire it and the camera follows the arrow. Do you ever get these weird moments with a game like that where you're sort of watching it going, this is set in the distant past, and yet somehow that weird kind of modern computer game technology thing feels a little at odds with what you're seeing?
Yeah, it does.
It weirded me out a bit. I don't get it often, but it's like we were talking about a game in Egypt set ages ago, and you can suddenly he's in a bird, and
I think
there's you're setting waypoints with a bird.
They explain it away, I think, a lot of it by like the the animus stuff, don't they?
I'm hoping there's no animus stuff at all.
Oh, I am. That stuff kind of bores me, but I suppose that's their way of explaining it, if it is.
Yeah, maybe
like that again.
I did like the look of the
I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that there's monsters in it.
There's what?
Monsters in it. It looks
like
there's monsters.
Oh, that big fucking snake!
Yeah.
I see it again. I reckon I was looking at Twitter and one eye on both. I missed that.
Yeah, that's when I was offering my hot takes.
Like.
That's when I was offering my hot takes on Twitter.
There you go. See, it's your fault.
Oh god, yeah.
I like the fact that it looks like some sort of underwater combat as well. I mean,
I
don't remember there being any underwater combat. I remember there being stuff in Black Flag where sharks chased you, but you couldn't attack them. You had to hide from them.
No, you couldn't. But yeah, I tell you what I can't get past is his name. I just get like
Bayek, lad.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
It's just weird.
How does that get through? How does the millions and millions of Ubisoft employees and no one went, I've got an uncle who lives up in wherever
Yorkshire.
really, Yorkshire, and I've heard him say Bayek. Is that what do you mean? Maybe we should investigate this. No, just run with it. Bayek's fine.
Clearly got no Lancashire heritage.
His cousin Ebai and his Ebai Gum, and it's. Yeah, that's.
But, yeah.
Did we see any historical figures in the trailer? Like, are we going to get Cleopatra or Mad Pharaohs and shit?
I don't think we did, but then there's obviously the Ubisoft conference tonight. So
there's of course the famous Egyptian fucking Ek.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also like Blood Eat Hell. So,
Harry Byfuck.
Ruddy Nora.
Ruddy Nora.
There's plenty of them. But it looks awesome. Like I'll be playing it. We'll hopefully see more tonight.
When's that? That's out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, October 27th.
Another October game. Holy shit!
Speaking of Adam, release dates. I was out by a week on the fucking Xbox release date.
I couldn't remember the dates we said, but I think we were all in the same ballpark, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is anyone out of interest? I think Chris, you said you're in. Dan, you're in. I'm not sure where Nick stands on Assassin's Creed or Gary, but either of you two, is anyone here on this cast like, nope, not interested at all in Assassin's Creed Origins?
I wouldn't say that I'm not interested, but I'm not excited by it. Bit bored.
What about you guys?
I've not been an Assassin's Creed fan at all. This one, it's got some interest, but I'm not going to rush out and buy it. It's the sort of thing that I might pick up later on when it's 20 quid or something.
Same.
Okay.
Fair enough. You're wrong. Next game is Battlegrounds, which I'm fucking chuffed to see on Xbox.
I wanna see how they get this working on a console. I want to see how this works with no control, no keyboard and mouse, or no keyboard really. Yeah,
I mean every time I see it on Twitter, I see pub Battlegrounds, because it's PU Battlegrounds, so it always confuses me. But
PUBG.
It looks awesome. Like I know a lot of people are playing it on Twitter
what the
and
fuck
stuff.
is
and Adam, you've played it.
It's a battle royale survival game.
See, everyone's talking about it.
It's actually really good. It is genuinely really good.
So one thing I want to know is that obviously in the film battle royale they team up for to get rid of people. So you could do that. So say there's like a group of people hoarded up somewhere, and you could team up with a mate and kill them, and then your mate could turn to you and kill you.
So there are two. You could technically have some kind of impasse where you come up against someone and you both realise we'll team up, and then that is a thing you can do. But there is also teams you can play it as a team,
right? Cool.
So you could, us 5 could play it together. And what happens there is like instead of you having to finish first out of the 100. You'll finish, say, first out of 37 because there are 37 teams. On PC, at least, it tries to match you with... So if you're a team of 5, it tries to match you with other teams of 5, so it's sort of fair. Then when you get the chicken dinner, because if you don't know it, when you finish it and come first, it says winner, winner, chicken dinner. And when you get the chicken dinner, at the end of it, it's like you as... I mean, the whole team could die bar you and you're the only survivor, but you still, your team comes first out of 35 or whatever. It's a really cool game. I suppose if you've never played on PC, you won't know any better, so you'll just think this is a really cool game, But it certainly feels like a PC game at the moment.
Yeah. It just reminds me of DayZ without the zombies.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe there's some clever stuff in there. Like it as you start, you have, I forget the amount of time, but there's a certain amount of time before the game tells you basically on the map you have to get to within this radius, this circle, because if you don't, it starts basically sapping your energy away. So you can't hide in the corner of the map. That circle keeps shrinking, so games aren't 10 hours long because people are in the corners of the map. It forces you into an encounter eventually. Like, so as you're scavenging, all over the place for guns and equipment, eventually, just due to the design of the game, you're forced together into conflict. Eventually that circle gets really small.
Do you
but
start
you can't,
with nothing?
You basically start with your fists, and you have to go in a building, and it's a bit odd at the moment. There'd just be like an Uzi by a toilet bowl, and with a bicycle helmet and a rucksack. And then you'll go in another building and upstairs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, it is that kind of thing. And there's a lot of games like it. This one, it's just very smart. Like I say, the way it's designed to say you can't hide forever. You will get found because the game can't end until you're found. So we're going to force you together. And there's vehicles and stuff, and it's just a really smart, fun game. It's really tense as well. I remember, I'll never forget my first game because I just getting a single kill feels like, wow, I managed to get a kill. It's a really good game. It is. There's a real reason why people are raving about it, and it's not a fluke.
Yeah. I'm well into it.
Cool.
Can't wait to give it a go.
You'll love it. It's a proper squad game. Well, or solo if you want. That's what's so cool about it. You don't have to have friends to play it with. You can just go 1 against 100 like everyone else. Everyone else is on their own.
My issue is I'm not an online gamer really. Not competitive anyway, so it's one that will probably pass me by either way.
But it's also
good.
But it's not a game that you need to play Call of Duty and get 50 kills to win the match. You can win. I think I've seen people win without getting a kill because the other person's accidentally killed themselves. You know what I mean? I've seen people. You only need to get one. If you're smart and you're clever and you're quiet and patient, you can win that with getting 1 kill, just the last one when it's 1v1.
Of that.
Yeah. It's just it's
not
just
smart,
a very good game.
but I'm fairly patient.
You're patient, and that can be it if you can find a good spot. And because a lot of it is you'll be running towards a circle, and everyone else is doing that because it's only just told you this is the area you need to be within. So everyone's coming at it somehow, and some people will be waiting till the last minute. Some people will be wanting to get there first, and it's the sort of game where you're running along and you see like a flicker, and you go, "Shit, was that someone? Was that someone?" And you look over there, and you stop, and you hit the ground, get your sight. You're looking down your sights. Was that someone? And then you're looking at them, and you've seen them. And the question is, do I take the shot? Because if I take the shot, I've given myself away that I'm in the area. They hear the gunshot. They know I'm here. And are they alone? Are there 3 other people around somewhere near them? What weapons have they got? It's all randomised. Maybe they've got a sniper rifle, wherever. I don't know. It's that kind of thing. Just taking a shot, it can give you away, and you've lost. And you think it's that tension that really makes it. You think, maybe I should just wait. And sometimes you'll wait, and then someone else takes a shot, and you think I was smart to wait because now they're duking it out, and I can just pick off the. You know what I mean? It's tactical, and it's just a fucking good video game.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I know there's one game that Nick's looking forward to play, and they're disappointed as well as kind of impressed with some of the visuals in the trailer. But it's not coming till spring 2018. State of Decay 2.
Oh,
Nick.
yeah.
So what did you make of the trailer?
I thought it looked very similar to the original, to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed that visually it doesn't look like it's improved much at all.
It's a bit rough, didn't it, Nick?
It did look rough. And, the first one looked rough as well. And I know that, a lot of criticism was levied at the fact that it looked so rough, but it had such an interesting mechanic to it that kind of got washed away. I would have thought and hoped that with the second one they'd have tarted it up a bit, but it doesn't really look like they have. But there again,
they don't seem to have offered anything new either. There doesn't seem to be anything new.
It's got co-op.
In fact, it's team
the
team based,
team
but you
stuff
still
interests me actually because
Same.
like the core mechanic, the core sort of gameplay of the original one is so cool that it's just this persistent world, and stuff impacts it. If you lose a team member, that's going to impact you, and if you've made the wrong decision sending them off to do something for you and they weren't equipped or whatever, you've lost them. And I just found that really quite engaging. I actually want to go back to the original because I
was
sort
just
of got
going to say that.
progress. I've got a game in progress with it just to see what's happened since I've been away. But yeah, I'm interested in it because, as I say, the original game was so cool and did so many cool things that I wanted a bit more of it. But like I say, I was a little bit surprised that it still looks as rough as it ever has.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's not out till next year now.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're
It
going
looks like it needs a whole new visual pass on it, do you think, Gaz?
Because even if the trailer looks rough,
Yeah.
the trailer's the bit that you meant to put forward because it's the best. I think you're right. I really like the original. Like, I think it was the most kind of accurate kind of telling of what a post-apocalyptic game, like what it could be.
It was
like
different as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so different. It was just a proper post-apocalyptic game. And I remember being like, the horror didn't come from like the zombies per se. It came from kind of losing your member, losing all the skills you've invested in, losing your all the equipment you had. It was fucking like a really tense game when you was out at night trying to do a mission and you was getting like zombies closing in. It was really cool. I'm just I am worried about the. Not worried per se, but just a little.
It's not a game that desperately needs to look gorgeous, but it would be kind of nice if it looked a bit better.
I think running smoothly is what it needs.
They've just done this big thing about having the most powerful console on the market, and then they put out this game, which is a good game. Well, I can't say that the second one is, but the first game is a good game, a very good game.
One of the few.
And then you just sit there and you're looking at it, going, "This doesn't look." I mean, it looks like a 360 game.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, though, I'm not that bothered. If it plays as well as the first one, I'm going to be playing it anyway. Although I don't
but...
with the multiplayer, is it going to be like a Destiny style where it's just people can come in, or
I'm
is
intrigued
it just
as how this works.
Bring your friends in, kind of thing.
Is it like Minecraft, where this is your world and you invite them into it?
I suspect it's going to be a bit like that. I wonder if you're going to have a persistent character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That you bring in,
like in Wildlands, where you put your own world and other people's worlds.
Because the whole point of Dead State of Decay is that you die, you lose everything. So I think if you have a character, but if it dies,
that's a good point.
Unless when you bring people into your world, they inhabit one of your characters, like one of your survivors.
But you have a persistent level, like you personally.
GTA-esque, where you've got a story mode where you get all the cutscenes and stuff, and then you get a multiplayer world, which is the same map, but you kind of cut out all the cutscenes, and it's just, or you land a random place with random loot.
Yeah, maybe that.
I kind of hope not.
Maybe that's going to be some element to it.
I kind of like the idea that, like completely different, but Warcraft, when you leave an MMO, your character remains in that world, and then when you log back in, you'll go to that world. So say, 4 of your friends are playing State of Decay 2 in the same world, you all start in the same game, and then you all go back to your house at the end of a scavenge or whatever, and then like Dan's like, right, see you later. So Dan's character just remains in the house, and then that world can keep going, and everyone can keep playing. It's everyone's world, and it's kind of like that's how it would work.
So you're saying it's Drivatar, but for State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
Again, how does that work, though? How does that work? Because if you're building a community, and you and your pals are building this community, and then like you go back into play and your pals aren't on, what happens with your pals? Do they just then join back in at that stage because you've moved that community on? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see when they start announcing. I mean, they might still announce how that's going to work this week. We'll see. But yeah, it looks tasty. Right. As we all know, there was a hell of a lot of games announced, so I want to go through a few of the brand new games we don't know about, and just like quickly sound off against each one of them. Deep Rock Galactic looks kind of like a
I don't even
Astroneer.
remember
Is
that
that
one.
the
Oh, that
dwarves?
one.
It's like-
Okay, yep.
Astroneer
Astroneer meets
multiplayer.
Starship Troopers.
Meets Minecraft.
Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind
Is
of
that
looks
Survive Mars?
all right.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm just trying to remember now. That looked good.
But yeah, it looks all right. The Darwin Project, which is like
That's
the
another
the
battle
ones
royale
beats
thing,
battle-
isn't it? That looked like a battle
Royale.
royale kind of game.
Yeah, this looks
With
like
that
very
weird-
Hunger Games as well.
weird.
Looked like Battlezone
announcer
2.
Can we talk
guy.
about the dwarves? Because what was that?
I don't remember
What?
Dig,
dwarves.
delve, dwarves or something.
Oh yeah, their
What
strap
was
line for
that?
them. Yeah.
I didn't really know what that was, but it
That
had
was
dwarves
strange.
in it, so I was immediately interested.
Other games, the Last Night, which looked pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
like the pixelated Blade Runner
Looked cool, yeah.
kind of story game. That looked really tasty. Also, another game that looked visually like cracking, which looked a bit different than everything I've kind of seen before, was the Artful Escape. I kind of like that. That was like a really nice art. style to
Annapurna.
it.
They're busy, aren't
Yeah.
they? Having just put
They
out
were
Edith Finch.
Edith Finch, weren't they?
Yeah, they're very busy.
So, yeah, they had a couple of games in this. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the other one was, but it was one that I thought looked quite nice. Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
That looks amazing. Right,
Yeah,
I
fucking
have
does.
to stop
Yeah.
you there because that looks amazing. Because my wife and I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and all those characters in that kind of fighting game, I'm 100% in. And can we also appreciate the fact that they've named it Fighters with a Z?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it's
It
not
look-
Fighter Z, it's Fighters.
Mm.
And I-
It looked
is
like
it?
Yeah.
Mal v Capcom.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
With Dragon Ball.
But with Dragon Ball
Yeah.
characters, and it looks so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm
so that-
100% in for that.
Cool.
Can we talk about Black Desert? What was that? That looked
You're gonna have
a
to
bit
remind me
like
which one that
That
was.
It's an
looked
MMO,
like a
innit?
Scalebound.
the-
That looked like.
It's that one that was on
MMORPG.
PC
Yeah.
for a while ago.
Oh, that game.
Ah, was it
Yeah.
right? Okay.
That was
Black-
called the
Black
Black
Desert
Desert
Online.
Online. Why is it not
But,
called online anymore?
Maybe they've. I don't know. Maybe they've.
Maybe it's
stripped back the
offline.
Online. I don't know.
An offline
But-
MMORPG.
That was one that I did like the look of when I saw it on PC, but I mean, my PC would have melted at the thought of running it. So, seeing it on Xbox, might be tempted, depending on the
Yeah.
price, I think.
Yeah. It looks alright. A lot of these games kind of got lost in the general.
There was a lot of games, Chris.
Because I
Yeah.
can't remember them. There was Code Vein. I mean, that looks
Another
alright.
Japanese one. I
You
think
know?
that Big Phil
is-
went on like a mad road trip and just got all the
Yeah.
Japanese games.
That looks less interesting to me every time I see it.
Yeah.
It looks
I'm
like a
afraid.
crap Nier.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. I thought that.
Well, I think
it
they're
did
going
look
for
like
the Souls style, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that looked more Monster Hunty to me because I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And Tacoma, which was nice to see. And it's
Fantastic.
nice to get a release date.
Yeah.
For
A couple of months
that.
away.
August the 2nd. So, yeah, I was really chuffed that was there. I wasn't expecting it to be there. So that's cool. And then, kind of, there was Cuphead. That looks fucking crazy. Like, that just looks gorgeous.
Release
And the fact
date.
that's coming out September the 29th. Yeah.
September. Well,
So-
when it's on my Xbox downloaded and paid for,
I know.
you know.
But I'd really like them to stick with it because it
But
it looks
same day
amazing.
as FIFA, though? Is that going to affect its
Is it?
sales?
Nah, people who get FIFA, like the mainstream FIFA audience, are going to get this.
No,
Yeah.
Cuphead's a hard game. You know, I don't think it's aimed
It
at the
doesn't
same
look like
audience.
my bag, I've got to say.
Oh, but it looks like a Disney movie, an old Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it does.
I've just leaned it onto
Tugboat
Ori, which looks amation.
Oh my
And
god!
you know that Ori is
I might need some tissues.
Ori
For the
is
cry-
my
for the
Achilles
cry.
heel.
Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisp looks.
Now, before we
Oh.
talk about this game, given that Chris, Gary, and Nicola are more my age, does anyone else have a problem with this game's name?
yeah,
No.
Willow.
Evil Edna?
Yeah, I see
Evil
that.
Edna, Willow the Wisp.
It doesn't bother me too much.
It really bugs me because I can't stop thinking that it's a game about Evil Edna and all the forest friends. And no one seems to understand my pain because, like, most people who are on Twitter and into games are like, what's he talking about, old man Adam?
No,
like,
I did see. I was too busy. I was too busy ranting about Microsoft putting it in their thing and then probably forgetting all about it again.
I'm with you, but I couldn't be bothered because I thought I went for this last time. No one listened to me. They sent Ori and the Blind Forest to die not once, not twice, but thrice. They sent it to die, and yet somehow we have I never thought this would happen. Like, Ori and the Blind Forest is one of my favourite games of this generation, and like I said, I might need some tissues for the crying.
For crying, yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Ashen.
Ashen.
That looked cool.
Ashen looked good. It looked like a
looks
paper
amazing.
mache Dark Souls.
I thought that looked stunning, actually.
At first,
Paper mache
before they
Dark Souls. That's brilliant.
Before they kind of showed the behind the character thing, I was like, "Oh, is this below?" Finally, no, it's fucking not, is it? But
No, the game's dead.
But I think possibly that's why I like the look of it though, because it looks kind of like below, but a different perspective. So yeah, it looks fucking great.
Yeah. So
Pirates,
guys. Well, I was gonna go there after I've mentioned about Minecraft.
Ooh.
So, I mean, do you know what?
Bad
When
Sony. Slap your
when
wrist.
people are
Bad
s-
Sony.
Yeah. When people are saying like why 4K, like why bother? It's
Why
just
not?
gonna make blocks look more like blocks. Like that trailer looks amazing.
Yeah, I like that new graphic style. I thought that looked
the
really
new graphic
nice.
style, and the woman that introduced it was brilliant. I thought she was really good.
Well, I think that think that people going on about why 4K, I worry that they don't understand resolution. Like, if I've got a 4K telly and a console that can run 4K native, I'd rather my console was running a game I'm playing in its native resolution on the telly's native resolution than having to downscale. Like, I'd rather have. It's not. It just seems like a weird thing to complain about. Like,
they're
so
just
fucking what?
complaining about Minecraft because they don't get it. It's too busy snarking about Minecraft.
Is it an update or is it a new version?
Update.
Like a new
It's
version
an
you have to buy.
update.
It's just a free update.
Super
patch.
duper summer pack.
Is it actually called that? I couldn't
Yeah.
tell in the end if they were actually calling
yeah.
that or if it was a joke. That looks
I thought she was saying
beautiful.
it for the sake of it, but it appears on the screen on the trailer. But yeah, it looks awesome. The fact it's now cross play with everything bar Sony, which is
That's
fine.
a mistake from
Naughty.
Sony, I
Naughty.
think. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Smack their bums.
But you know, it's on everything else: PC, Switch, Xbox, and I'm assuming like
Yeah, it
Can
is,
we
yeah.
specify
It's
though?
everything.
Actually, it's only the Windows 10 version of Minecraft that it's compatible
on
with,
PC.
isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
version that you can play on PC.
I
There's
don't
two
know. I
different
assume
versions
not.
on PC.
Yeah, there's the old launcher, isn't there, and the
Yes.
Windows 10 store version.
Yeah, but they are different games.
Oh, they are,
They
yeah,
have a
yeah.
different crafting interface.
Yeah.
And they have different blocks. Well,
But
at
don't you
least they
think it
did.
sort of doesn't even matter for me? It's like
No.
it's less about like, because if you play it on a couple of platforms, you already do. It's more about saying. But now, so for example, I'd quite like to keep playing it on Switch because it's portable. But like, everyone I know still plays it on Xbox. But now we can just play together,
Yeah.
and it's not an issue.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, and that's what games should be moving towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great
so you're
move
right.
for Microsoft to open that up. Because I mean, when they first bought it, I was a little bit anxious about it because you know, I was thinking, oh, they're going to ruin it. But I think they've appreciated that it is a phenomenon that
It's kind of bigger than them, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a monster, that game, an absolute monster. And I like the fact that they're prepared to open it up and keep working at it and adding new stuff to it, and you know, treating it with the sort of respect that it's earned, basically. And that's why I get so
Yeah.
pissed off that everybody's so snarky about it. I mean, fucking hell. Have you seen how many downloads this fucking game has got? Have you seen
But it's
it?
the same. It's the same, Nick, for stuff like FIFA. Like, you know, when the sports segment of EA comes on, it's like, again, these are very popular games. Like, they might not be for you or I, but they
who
are.
don't do exercise. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking going on.
Fuck 'em.
No.
Like
Anywho,
these games are focused on like long after they're out or when they're on their 50th sequel because they are massively popular. And while you may not love Minecraft, there's a lot of people that really like Minecraft. You know, that wear Minecraft pajamas, or you know what I mean. Like this is
how do you
it's
know?
bigger
Adam?
than a game.
How do you know? Have you been looking through my window? I don't wear Minecraft pajamas.
Nor me. But it's bigger than a video game.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, if you're Microsoft, if you own Microsoft, how do you not find some way of mentioning it? You know, this probably didn't even exist, and someone went, "Well, listen, remember we own Minecraft. We got to have it somewhere." Like, well, yeah, of course you fucking do. It's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We get books. We get books sent through. God gets books sent through about Minecraft. I have no idea where they come from, but the kids love them.
Yeah.
I've had 3 in the last month. I've no idea where they're coming from. they're like they come in. It says like there's one just come through, and it's like, and it's being released in July. Great. I don't understand where this is coming from. Is it by Microsoft? But the kids love them. Like they're new books. Like there's a book coming out about Minecraft that's, you know how Telltale did story mode. It's a story of Minecraft. It's not Telltale. It's apparently the first official book that's a narrative book rather than you know the guide books and stuff like that. And you know it's more than a game. There's a movie coming, isn't there? Still.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's got a big cast in it. Someone. Oh, who's doing it? Let me check. Someone quite. Oh, thingy Rob McElhaney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia is doing it. I think.
Right.
All right.
Wow.
Which is pretty good because he's quite funny.
But yeah,
Minecraft.
So there's Minecraft for you. Sea of Thieves.
Pirates. That's all we need to know.
How did everyone think that looked? Like, because Nick and Dan, you're hyped for it. Well, you were. I know you were. How did that look to you? Because I still can't talk about it.
I'm still holding on to a glimmer of hope that it's.
But did that experience that they showed look fun to you?
I don't
like
know.
if let's talk hypotheticals here, right? In a hypothetical world where that is the indicative experience of Sea of Thieves, are you into it?
It depends on friends, I guess, and I don't know. I don't really know what you do apart from just go on a ship and pot about. It's not like can you bury treasure? Do you have fights? And I don't really, I don't actually see what the point is yet, and I'm worried that there won't be one.
Yeah, because it's like, do you go to a port and stuff like that? Can you interact with people on a port island or something like that, or is it just fuck about in the sea?
Can you have a job? Can you just be a guy who isn't a pirate? You're just a fucking.
I feel like my voice is going to go all high again in a minute.
I don't know. I thought the trailer or that sort of gameplay thing was a bit odd.
Looked pretty though, right?
I quite like the look of it, and I'm still clinging on that a game about being a pirate and pirating the high seas is going to be good. I'm still hopeful.
It felt very Fable in the way it looked.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Whimsical as well. Like I was watching a stream, and they said that's something games miss. A lot of modern video games go very serious. Isn't it nice to have a game that's just whimsical and daft?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm the best person to ask about Sea of Thieves because I'm like holding on. But I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do in it. I don't know what. It's still not. I'm still not clear. This is like No Man's Sky. I just don't know what. I don't know what to think about it because I don't know what you do. I don't know what it's about.
Well, I mean,
but it's fucking pirates, isn't it? It's pirates. Can't wait to be a pirate. Can't wait.
Right, next kind of weird trailer thing was Crackdown 3.
Oh, Chris.
What the fuck was Terry Crews doing?
Chris.
It didn't look right good. Can we say that? I didn't think it looked very
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it out loud. I don't want to say that
Adam,
it looks
it
really
look
dated. It looks dated, and it also it's out in a few months, and there was no game. Please, someone, please.
Yeah,
You don't know how much I love Crackdown. Is like the game I remember for the achievements. Like that game is the one I fell in love with. Please, someone tell me why they didn't show it like just a gameplay trailer, and why does it look so dated? Someone help me.
Do you know?
Like Agents of Mayhem.
Do you know what? It didn't. When I look back at the original reveal of Crackdown, and they were like talking about the tech involved in Crackdown, and then they showed that last night, and I was like, "This isn't
it
the
looked
same
like the same
game."
trailer, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I was going, "This isn't the same game that they were going on about with the tech and all of these like computers rendering the freaking buildings collapsing in real time or whatever it was."
Someone tell me why their big exclusive that's all it got. Someone tell me why that
don't look good.
Help me.
Think you know, Adam?
It doesn't look good, Adam.
Yeah.
Just to sort of play the devil's advocate, they didn't show the multiplayer when they showed it last night, and that's where all the destruction is. Because like they said in the single player, there's very little destruction, because if you just blew up an entire map, your story would be fucked.
But they made such a big deal of that, Gary, of the tech involved in being able to do that.
Wasn't that the cloud? Isn't the cloud maybe?
Well, there was that, but I don't know.
I'm sure they dumped all that stuff.
I'm
that's
anxious.
Why it's taking so long.
But I must say, as much as I enjoyed the other Crackdown games, they weren't exactly lookers. To be fair, I mean, they had it was more the art style which made them look decent. But if you go back to them now, they're not pretty.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe that's the thing, and Crackdown 3 might not look that great. Again, like State of Decay, it could be like that. Doesn't look that great, but plays brilliant. So I don't know. Maybe we're a little bit ahead of ourselves.
I don't know. Games are strange.
Gamescom, they've got
Games are strange.
Oh, go on, Chris.
Mate, I was heading for it. Games are strange, as is life. Life is strange before the storm.
Is it just me?
A new 3-part series.
Yeah, it's just you.
I don't want a prequel.
I don't care about it either.
I care. That game was great.
I don't.
Yeah, it was, and I don't want that world to be touched again. That ended for me. I've had that whole story was perfect as it was for me. It's ended. I know where all the characters go. Depending on my choice.
So you're saying
I'll play it.
It's Titanic syndrome. You're gonna, you know how it ends.
No, because I lived through those 5 episodes and I felt what they felt, and it was a really kind of powerful experience that game was. And you get connected to these games and these characters. Whereas Titanic's a film, you watch it, you know how it ends. You're not being a part of the story.
Fair.
You're just watching it unfold. And I think, like, to go back, it just seems not unnecessary, but I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about what happened before. I kind of know what happens before with Rachel and whatnot because I've played the games. I expected it to be something else. I wasn't expecting it to be like a prequel. I don't know.
Well, better a prequel than a sequel, though, eh? It's only like a 3-episode miniseries. Better that they've done this than gone, we're going to carry on their story. Because I'd like to think that Life is Strange 2, or whatever they call it, is not the same characters. It's like a new story.
No.
Do you feel like this feels like rushed or like DLC rather than...
a bit. I was expecting to see a brand new story, with different characters.
I think that's coming, though, isn't it? That's a whole other thing. They announced that, didn't they?
Oh, I thought that was what they announced.
I believe this is a separate thing. Like the Life is Strange 2 is still a thing.
Fair enough, then that's cool, because I'm happy about that, because I thought this was their announcement when they
I think this is just like a little extra thing that was, because it was rumoured.
Okay.
I think Life is Strange 2 or whatever. Like no, they did.
Yeah.
No, they did, because they did that video where they said we're making a second series or second season. So that's still a thing. Like,
yeah.
So this is just kind of like a bit like Walking Dead Michonne.
Yes. Okay.
I think anyway.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Life is Strange Before the Storm, August 31st. 2 massive games left, so we'll go through them. But before I do, Xbox backwards compatibility, late 2017. So you're going to be able to play all your fucking Knights of the Old Republic for me. Like, that's going to be amazing playing that on the Xbox.
Won't you have to buy it? Because were original Xbox games digitally downloadable? They weren't, were they?
No.
So
I
you
suspect
would
they'll
need
add
the
them, won't
disc.
they?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it won't be something like sometimes they pop up in my library because I owned them digitally on 360. It will be something
yeah.
you'll need to either buy or presumably have the disc for, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you've got the
okay.
disc, it'll do the whole download,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
store
yeah. Of course.
version. But
Forgot I did
yeah,
that.
I'm not really that bothered by this.
No, same.
I knew they were going to do it.
It's cool though, right?
It's definitely.
It
there's some games which would be good to maybe go back to, but I don't think I'll use it.
No, fair enough. Shadow of War
Yeah.
looks, there's
There's
a lot of Cockney ogres.
Nah, there's
There
was
no,
a lot of
They're
snark
Aussie.
around
The,
this.
the Aussie. Oh,
Bruiser Chopper. Oh, fuck you. It's just amazing.
So many
Like that.
times.
I wish they were
That's-
Cockney.
the Aussie called
That's-
Bruce. I mean, it had
The
to
Aussie,
be.
he was Aussie, wasn't he? Yeah. But as I
G'day,
know,
mate. I'm gonna go and fucking chop a head off. I'd love it if they were all upbeat
Yeah.
like that. Well, they were quite upbeat actually, weren't they? I
He
just
was
loves
quite
killing
funny.
me. I just loves killing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I think it looks cool. I think the way the Nemesis system has been expanded is great. I like the fact you are going to war. It'll feel like a proper war rather than just like one-on-one and everyone else is doing something in the background. It feels very much unified with your army. So I mean, we saw a lot of that gameplay. What I mean, Dan, you're quite keen on this. What did you think to it?
Oh, great! I thought like I said, then I think the expanded like Nemesis system looks really cool. How they kind of giving all the orcs and not even just orcs, like ogres and trolls and all that. They're giving them like more personality. And I don't know if the bit they showed is like a set mission, or if you could interrupt any kind of bad guy doing this, like kind of just twatting all his mates. And then so it could be anyone, and then any kind of or enemy take over at that point. Will they have the same lines for the same bit, or will they have a different set of lines and personality to introduce?
There was a
the
lot
bit
of
you're
different dialogue in the first game. Like you wouldn't,
I think
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't hear it repeated. It was quite good about that.
But
I think
what I mean
Ryan's
is like,
PC wrote for us was
Yeah.
he was saying that they've recorded loads
yeah, it
more
definitely
dialogue.
seemed
right.
it from just the trailer. But what I kind of mean is, with the Nemesis system in the first game, it kind of wasn't connected to the main story at all. Pretty much, like you could just it was just a separate kind of thing to do, and then you could use the orcs in the main mission. It seems like in this game, the Nemesis system is a lot more integral
Yeah,
to
it
the
is.
main
Yeah.
game, building your army.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it'll still be as random. So if you're taking over someone to get intel into a bit, can you do that on any orc? And then that orc will have just as much kind of intel and words, but said differently than any other orc.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to see if it really is expanded, or if it maybe, because it's
Yeah.
so connected to the story, it ends up being a bit more linear. But I think it looks great. I liked how it looked like there was actually proper cities in it now, rather than just kind of the
Yeah.
odd little.
It's colourful as well.
hideout.
Wasn't
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it does.
Shadow of
think
Mordor
they-
was a great game. I can't wait to play
it?
it.
Really well. There's 2 points I'd love to make about this game. One is that now, well, we can call it a series now because there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
This series is the direction Assassin's Creed should have gone in. And second
Yeah.
of all, you can ride fire-breathing dragons. End of, really.
Yeah. How was the
You can
Nemesis
fight
system
Balrogs.
been nicked?
Yep, well, that too.
Yeah.
I'm the dissenting voice here. I thought Shadow of Mordor was a snowfest.
Really? Okay, well, you're allowed, you know. I mean, look, if we want to be critical, it's out in October, right?
Yeah.
And it's a game that they were saying is going to run better on, 4K Scorpio, Xbox One X, and PS4 Pro. Listen, it's not the be-all and end-all. I'm not convinced it looks great. Like, it looks more colourful, but something about it looks off to me.
Yeah, it looks just
Yeah.
like it kind of looks like it's got like a smear of Vaseline over the screen, like the first one did, just a little grubby, which I think suits Mordor itself because it's a shithole.
Yeah, but the last one was on PS3 and PS4.
Oh, it was.
This is just a current generation game, so
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of hoping it would be a bit more of a leap, maybe.
I'm-
I'd like
yeah,
to say
I'm
it
saying, I'm not-
doesn't matter, but
Yeah, I'm not completely that arse. I'm just looking forward to like.
yeah,
I
same.
think this game comes a lot more from the this Nemesis system. Nemesis system is the main draw here, and I really
Big
can't
time.
wait to see how much they've expanded. And building your own army is interesting because it makes me think. The one downside to Shadow of War was that Mordor, sorry, is that the story itself was really fucking shit, and it had one of the
Yeah.
worst endings to a game I've fucking seen in a long time. So I
Yeah.
think if this game is like a little less kind of story driven, as in the story itself is like you just go and get your army and whatnot for the main battle. I think it'd lend itself a lot better. So I'm certainly intrigued. Rather than having the Nemesis system and the actual story, so it's two separate entities. The Nemesis system this time is actually the story. I'd definitely be intrigued.
Yeah. Well, the big game that they didn't announce. They announced it at the EA conference. Anthem. We got to see actual gameplay.
Is it weird that they ended on something that wasn't theirs?
No, because they needed to kind of make a statement that, look, hey, third parties still love us. And look at this game. Looks really nice.
I'm all in on that. I'm all in.
It's Destiny, isn't it? It's Destiny.
Well, I'm scared. I'm like, I didn't realise it was multiplayer at first. So one breath, I think it could be like it depends on how they approach open worlds. I think it could be like Breath of the Wild, but like realistic, if you get me, and a bit more sci-fi and stuff. But then the Destiny stuff does have me a little bit worried because I think Destiny's fucking boring. I'm a bit scared it's going to be too much on loot and multiplayer and stuff like that. But it looks mad.
To me, it looked like what I hoped Destiny would be.
I did think that as well, though. So it's a weird situation.
I think it looked brilliant. I mean, visually, especially. I mean, visually, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but I did really like the design as well. It was very much Pandora. You know, the whole Avatar thing. But I like that idea. And just some of the designs. Again, actually, there was a bit of Horizon in it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Xenoblade as well, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mishmash of all these different things all brought into something which could potentially be really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like Nicola is probably the biggest multiplayer player here, and the question I have for her is that in that trailer they showed the ideal that I adore. That is like, right, so you're playing as the heavy, and you've got your mortar, and I play as whatever that other character was, like the regular, and I've got this special move. But in practice, it's kind of like the Ubisoft thing of like, yeah, okay, I'm opening the door. You coming in from the... It never fucking ends up actually playing like that, does it? Division did it as well. So did you get the same impression that I've got? Like, it looks amazing and that would be cool, but it never works out like that.
Needs better friends on him.
Maybe. Maybe.
No, I don't know. I just got blinded. I'm all in on that. All in. And are you talking about the difficulties where like there'll be one particular class that everybody wants to play and you just end up in a match where there's like 4 players of the same
it's
class?
like, look, just someone play the healer. Just please play the healer.
Yeah, see the thing is I'm always that person. I always tend to gravitate more towards a sort of support type character anyway. Also, if like there's a team of 4 and only one of the 4 is a female character, I always go, right, that's me. That's me, I'm the female, and it doesn't matter what class it is. That's always me, so I always nab that one. But, see, I've got quite a regular group of friends that I play with, and we do tend to coordinate a bit like that. Like, okay, well, you know, I'll take the support class, you be the demolitionist or whatever, you be the soldier, etc. So we do tend to play like that, but we certainly don't play it as politely as they were.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to have some natural. I would love it if they just had some actually natural people playing it, going, "Oh fuck, sorry, I didn't mean to."
At first, I thought, you know the female character that starts the game.
Yeah.
I thought that was an in-game character.
Mate, sorry, I had him.
And then the other bloke starts talking. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the weekend.
Yeah, and I was like, "What?"
There, yeah, that's when I clocked on. At first, I thought it was all in-game.
Yep, so did I. I thought that was like, yeah, totally. I bet Chris is. I know Chris and BioWare hyped, right?
Oh god, yeah. I can't wait to play it. I love the look of it. I love
it. Do you want to be on my team, Chris?
Yeah, you can thrash everyone, and I'll just take the glory because I'm not very good. But the storms, that kind of bit of it was like, God, it looked like what's going on there? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is that part of? Can you die in those storms? How do they affect things?
Do you know the thing I was left thinking from that, Chris? This is a bit of a sad note, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just felt like the people who made Andromeda, I bet they were sat there thinking, I wish we had this fucking budget.
Yeah, completely.
Andromeda was good, you guys. Shut up.
No, but I bet I'm saying they wouldn't have had to put out 9 patches if they'd had a budget. Yeah. I mean, that game looks very high budget.
I think it's pretty clear Andromeda was a
B game for them.
The main focus of the studio.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But new IP,
There's
we're all
someone there.
excited by new IP.
Definitely, but
Yeah,
someone's
definitely.
making Dragon Age,
Absolutely.
aren't they, as well, somewhere?
Mm.
Like
They've
BioWare.
teased it. They've
They
teased
better
it.
fucking
Well, no,
give
we
it
know
Dragon
it's
Age.
being made because they shut down, or they reduced the size of the Andromeda team to go and work on it. So, but how big's
Yeah.
BioWare now then?
I don't know. I
Like-
still think they're a bit mid-tier, aren't they?
Well, it
Don't
can't be
know,
though.
but
If they're
they
making
can't
that
be.
game and Dragon Age. Fucking hell! Like,
Mm,
wow.
I don't know.
yeah.
Oh well, looks amazing.
Well,
Does look amazing.
Yeah.
Hope it is that game that we get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's the Microsoft conference.
Well, just quickly, I mean, we had that montage, didn't we, of the idea Xbox, and I know they were all very quick, but there were a few in there that kind of grabbed my eye, but I can't remember what any of them were called.
No, same.
I started writing them down, and then it went too fast. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
this.
Well, we haven't
So-
actually talked
but
about
that-
the X itself either. Like, is it even
No.
worth doing, or are we all just going to say the same thing? It's very expensive. It's for a set audience.
No,
it looks
do
the
you know,
most powerful.
It is pricey. It's all going to depend on how these games turn out. But like, if I had that money there and now, I would certainly buy one because I think, with a 4K TV, it would be.
Are you going
be
to
even
buy
better.
one
Yeah.
as it stands?
Oh, no.
Nicola, are
No
you going
way.
to buy one as it stands?
Well, I've
Oh.
only recently just upgraded at Christmas to an Xbox One S. The only
Okay.
way I can see me getting one is if my son's Xbox gives up the ghost.
Accidentally gets a can of Coke poured down it.
Oh, look, the video card's gone.
That bloody dog
Ooh.
again.
Oh, what we're gonna do? That's the
Terrible.
only
Oh, the
way.
TV's broken as well. Shit.
No, we did. We already did that. I've already done that.
Oh, you've got fair play. Can't go back to that well.
so
You sound like a maybe then. Like you, or rather, you would like to.
yeah, I'd like to because see the thing is I'm more interested in this console than the PS4 Pro
Mm.
because I can't see the point of the PS4 Pro.
Okay.
But
Fair
this
enough.
one seems like more of a jump than the Pro does, if you know what I
Yep.
mean.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. It's certainly
Okay.
not going to be when it comes out. It might be a year later or something after the price starts to drop a little bit. I do think it's a bit too rich for my blood at the moment, but
It's not cheap. You know.
I'm interested in it. I am interested in it because we've got a 4K telly. It'd be nice to
Yep.
see,
Well, you're kind of. This is the
something
thing. Once you get a
actually
4K
running.
telly,
Mm.
you're kind of like, well, I should buy it really because I mean
Yeah.
I've got the telly, but
It's a lot
you
of
know,
money. It is a lot of money.
it is.
And see, the thing is I was sat there thinking, I'm already invested in Xbox. I already have one.
Yep.
So the game's being released. I'm like, oh, that looks real. Oh, yeah. But I'm trying to think if I didn't have an Xbox yet, whether I saw anything there unique
Nah.
for me to go out and spend
I think
450
Metro
odd quid.
visually.
I think, ironically, State of Decay is the only one I'd get an Xbox for, and that's, as we've just discussed, isn't really there for the visuals.
So you're a no then, Dan, for the
I mean,
still
I've got
nearly
like
said
20 quid in
Scorpio.
my bank account.
Okay. What about you, Gaz? Are you? Because I know you like your Xbox as well.
If I had the money and
would like
a
to, sort
4K
of
TV, yeah,
Same.
it's one of those, in the future I'd like to. I'm on Nicola's side with the Pro. It's like the Pro just seems like a very small upgrade and not entirely supported, whereas the X seems to be fully supported or near enough.
I still
And
forgot
a
the Pro
massive-
existed.
Well, yeah, but it's a really big upgrade, really, and if everything's going to be native 4K as well, it's impressive.
Mm.
But
I mean,
it's just the price wise, although it's expensive, I think is actually about right. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
you're not even going to get
for what you're
anywhere
getting,
near that for like a PC.
no,
You know,
not even close.
to get that on a PC, you're going to need to spend at least $1,000.
Oh, more than that, I'd say now.
Really?
Yeah, if you want 4K 60, you're gonna. I'd be surprised if
Is
you
it-
could find it for $1,000.
Is it 4K 60 though?
Well,
on
Forza
everything?
7 is. So
Yeah.
if there's
Well-
a game that is 4K 60, then it means it can be 4K 60. Whether it is
Right,
every
okay.
game or not is different, but it can
Yeah.
be.
So, yeah, I
and,
mean-
yeah.
The price I think is fine, but I can't afford it.
Does no one else think it's the reset button like me? I really do feel like this is them sitting down in a meeting and going, we are sick to death of people going on about how Sony's got the more powerful console. Whatever it fucking takes, make ours the best one. And in the same way that people jumped ship from 360 to PS4 because word of mouth got around that, you know, Xbox One was 900p, PS4 did like 1080p proper. You know, there were some games at 6, blah blah. Like word got round, and if someone said what console should I buy, even if you were a fan of Xbox, you would go, well, probably PS4. It's the better console.
I think with this theory, I think the problem is the door. You know, the horse is already well bolted on this. PS4 is for this generation. It is the leading one.
But mate, the 360 was so dominant over
PlayStation 4
PS3.
was better. It was that Xbox One was so bad at the start of running everything. It was so worse.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't, man. I owned that console from pre-launch. It really wasn't. That is such a. I really don't like that narrative. That's the narrative that's been set. Yeah, but it's not true.
It's not true. It's correct. Yeah.
It was worse than the PS4. It didn't run things like. There were a couple of games that struggled. It did not run games like shit.
And I don't think this because of the time it's come out. Because it's going to be niche, it's going to be like a niche console that you know it's not going to get a lot of the market share you would have thought up.
Well, apparently PS4 Pro's 1 in 5 ever sold is a PS4 Pro. So that's not really niche. Because I said the same, and someone corrected me on Twitter and said you say it's niche, but 1 in 5. If they get that uptake on an Xbox One X, fucking hell.
If they do, but Xboxes are still selling less, aren't they? So it's still not going to be as much. I don't think. This generation, I don't think the market leader is going to change. I think Xbox have done brilliantly to kind of claw it back, but I don't see.
But it becomes the bottom line, the same bottom line Sony have always been saying, if you want the best experience of your console home gaming, you need a PS4. They can't say that anymore. Because now Xbox have come out and said, great, you know what? Fuck yeah, we are making something that dwarfs it. Well, dwarfs is a bit much perhaps, but do you know what I mean? That's what they would say, and they can now say it.
I wonder though.
I think last.
Sorry, Gary, you go.
I was going to say, like, if you think last generation, I mean, like the 360 had a big lead, but
it was
by the end of it, the PS3 did come back quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too late, really.
But Xbox was still like the leading. It was the one.
But we are only 3-4 years into a generation at the moment, not 9. You know.
Yeah. See, so I think there's still a potential for the Xbox to come back.
The thing that I'm thinking of is that we're all in our little Twitter bubble, looking at the critique of the Xbox and, you know, the original launch of the Xbox One, how they fluffed it, Microsoft and Sony took advantage of that. I think that for the average consumer going into game or whatever, you know, because little Johnny's now been allowed a console for Christmas or whatever, and they go into game and they don't necessarily know what to get, but all his mates have got, you know, FIFA on Xbox, and they then see the Xbox One X running in store and go, you know, because presumably visually it's going to be holy shit, and then they go across and have a look at a PlayStation 4 and go, oh well, we'll take the Xbox One because it looks better.
The issue is all Johnny's mates have FIFA on PlayStation 4 this time.
See, I have to say I disagree with that as well.
I disagree.
All the kids around our area are on Xbox to the point it pisses me off because we've got an Xbox in the lounge, and I think, you know, it had to go in there because I was fed up with not being able to get any work done because I thought, well, they won't play the Xbox. They've got a PS4 in the lounge. Nope. So I had to swap them around because all their mates play on Xbox.
Yeah,
my kids are unique in that their dad gets the stuff, has to for work, but these other parents are buying the console their kids want, and not completely 100%, but the majority is Xbox One. And I don't understand why or how, but that might just be a localized thing. I don't even get it, but it certainly is around here, and I can't explain it.
I think for FIFA it was the Legends, wasn't it? It had the Legends.
But I don't know about that. Like,
didn't, and Ultimate Team is the thing, isn't it, for FIFA?
But Legends are so impossibly rare to get. I don't feel like they're as big a deal as EA or Xbox ever made out. Like, I don't know anyone who's ever seen one without, you know, that's not the transfer. Like, Dan, I know you play PES more, but like, did you ever get the feeling that Legends mattered to anyone?
Nah, because all my mates on PlayStation, which obviously don't have them.
So they wouldn't have even had them. So that's the thing. I don't know. I'd say I cannot explain why my kids and their mates all play on Xbox.
I don't
just
know,
can't.
Adam, but I'm similar because, as you know, my son's 13, and initially there were a lot of PlayStation 4. They all had PlayStation 4s. But since we've allowed Tom to have Xbox Live, the amount of his friends who have also got an Xbox One, they've all swapped over from PS4 back to Xbox.
Maybe your son's like a
trendsetter.
No, sorry, I don't mean to say that they've all bought Xbox Ones because Tom's online. That isn't what I mean.
No,
I mean
it might well be the case. I remember I got all my mates to PS4s when they first came out.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, I think FIFA is definitely a draw because that is all my son plays. That is all he plays. I mean, I was looking at it the other day, he's approaching 700 hours on FIFA.
Fucking hell.
That is all he plays on that Xbox.
He spends so many hours on such a shit fucking
He loves it though, Dan. He loves it. And I'm sat at dinner last night. I'm sat at dinner last night and he's telling me about he bought a player for 10,000 gold coins and sold him for 21,000 gold coins, and he's sitting there and he's talking about all this commerce that's going on.
Tom for Prime Minister.
He's talking about all this commerce that's going on, and I'm just sat there and honestly he's just talking to me about his team structure and the games that he's playing. I'm just sat there going, oh, that's nice, dear. That's nice, dear. But that is, he's well into it. And as I say,
they're bad for FIFA.
You know, he's got maybe 20 friends on his Xbox list, and they are all kids from his school.
Yep. It's just weird because I've recommended, other parents, I've been like, nah, get a PS4 because again, it's the more powerful console, and yet they go and buy an Xbox One, and it's like, why'd you do that? I told you that's what the kid wanted.
Yeah.
Oh well. Why ask then? You
know,
that's
where all their pals are. All their pals are on Xbox.
I think Xbox has a kind of, I don't know, I feel like Xbox always has a kind of more not kiddie, but you know what I mean? I think it always appeals more to, like when I was that age, I had the Xbox, obviously it was the Xbox 360. I feel like Xbox is more for 8 to 14-year-olds and maybe that sort of area, and maybe PlayStation angles.
Do you know what I mean?
Later teenage, I don't know.
I can't work it out.
Xbox, as the Minecraft kind of, has always been the place for Minecraft, really. It didn't come to PlayStation until later.
That's true. That is true.
It was originally the place of Call of Duty and FIFA exclusivity and stuff, which is the only two games most people of that age play. I guess maybe that just kind of, the 360 kind of crossed over because everyone was just so loyal to it, whereas maybe older people who actually, when reading it, kind of went to
but you're talking about kids who are like, you know, my son's just turned 12, just turned 13.
Yeah, so
he wouldn't be going, oh, I'm loyal to Xbox 360.
True.
No, I'm not saying that.
They don't care. Well, they do care, but I don't get what. Like, it's a weird. Let's say I'm one of these people, and I think actually all of us. I know, Dan, like you don't have an Xbox One, but that's not because you don't like them or don't want one.
No.
It's just like you don't need one. And I think all of us, and I'd like to think most people who work in any way in the games media are the same. That I don't really give a shit what platform I play a game on. I just want whatever platform I play it on to be the best available. Like if it can look better, run better, and is a better game generally, then I'd like to play on that platform. But generally speaking, I just want good games. And
it's that or has the games.
Yeah,
I think while this press conference was really good from Microsoft, showing a lot of games, it was definitely a well kind of structured conference.
Wasn't a lot of first party, was there?
I don't think they have enough exclusive stuff to be tempting from anyone who hasn't got one already.
Yeah.
Apart from, the only way they would tempt it is the power of the, of having all the third party stuff being the best, and maybe that'll be enough. But at this late stage, if we think, it's halfway. I think before the generation started, I think the rumours were 8 years, and we're halfway through that now, pretty much, or will be in a few months.
But the PS3 started clawing back, but I feel like that.
Sorry,
the PS3 was like when it started to claw back. We were near enough at the end of the cycle for those consoles, so it is possible. It's a good time for them to try it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, definitely.
The midpoint refresh.
But it's interesting, definitely.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the coverage of the Microsoft conference. I'm passing the torch now because I have to go, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Bethesda
yeah, Bethesda, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately. It wasn't terrible, but anyway, that's my hot take. Hashtag. Dan, everyone, thank you very much. I'll speak to you all soon.
See you later, Chris.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bethesda was at 5 a.m. and thank fuck none of us stayed up or got up for it because fuck all happened. I don't know how long it was.
Why is everyone saying this?
Right,
they
three
had the
things
best
happened
trailer
of
of
any
E3 so
providence.
far.
Well, they did, but you wouldn't want to have stayed up for it because
I wouldn't want to have stayed up for fucking anything at 5 a.m, mate. I'm sorry.
True, but there was loads of stuff. There was VR, so that was my VR prediction gone. I did not think Bethesda would be the ones talking about it. There was Skyrim stuff or Morrowind
Skyrim
stuff, I should say.
Switch is one thing, and then there was an Elder Scrolls Skyrim thing for that
Which is
card
already
game.
out. And Morrowind.
Yeah,
Morrowind
Legends.
in
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, which was already talked about.
Can-
There was that
can
card
we-
game talked
Can we
about.
mention though the Switch version of Skyrim though?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool with the
I thought that
amiibo
stuff looked quite cool, didn't it? I mean, I'm not a huge Skyrim fan, but I was watching that trailer this morning. And I thought this might be the thing that gets me to play that damn game.
Yeah, end of the day, you've got to give. It's a 6-year-old game at this point. You've got to give
Is it
people.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got to give people a reason to play it, and this is definitely a gimmick. It's gimmicky. People would play it just so they can play it just as bloody Link, and playing it on the go is definitely a reason as well.
That said, if you play Skyrim in third person, you're a bad person. So just put that out there.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, though, they had the motion stuff in it. Me and a friend back when it first came out on PS3, and that were talking about how they could have done that with the Move on PS3. Obviously, it never happened.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's finally happening.
Or Connect.
Yeah, even Connect. Well, Connect, you just got the showers, didn't you? Which was a bizarre inclusion.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I think it's an interesting idea. Whether it works as well as that trailer showed, I don't know.
No one's playing it like that.
But
no one is playing it like that. It's cumbersome and it's not as quick as just aiming and pressing a button.
Yeah. Still, it's interesting.
It's cool. They've done it. They bothered.
I mean, since I've already got Skyrim on 360, PC, and Xbox One,
Jesus.
and I don't actually have a Switch, I don't think I'd bother buying it on the Switch just for that. But it might be a good entry for anyone who's not played it.
But who hasn't played at this point?
I've played an hour and a half of it. So I actually might be the guy this is aimed at. If it runs well, because if that game runs like shit, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
There was no date or anything, was there?
I thought they said end of the year. Did I
I
imagine
thought
that?
by now they should at least have, here's your release date. Cause...
I thought they did say end of year, but that's not a date, is it? You're right, Gary. So,
yeah.
Can we talk about Doom VR?
If you want.
Yeah.
Because we all know Doom was one of my favourite games of last year, and I'm a big VR fan. I do not see how this game is going to work. Because when you start watching the trailer, I thought, is it just an experience where you can kind of explore the world in VR? Which would be cool, but, whatever. And then they start shooting. I think they would have to slow that game down for it to be viable in VR, and that's not what makes Doom good.
Yeah, and that kind of point-and-click move system, I just don't see that working for Doom.
But Doom is about the violent ballet. It's about you are in control at a blistering 60 FPS on consoles, bouncing around these environments, switching weapons, using everything you've got, like just flying around the environment and clearing out the enemy. And then the music stops and you almost in time go, Jesus, do you know what I mean? Like that was something. Yeah. And that it's in a game of repeatedly doing that to you. And look, I'll play it because I love Doom, but I don't know. I just don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Punching in VR though has got to be satisfying, isn't it?
It's bizarrely it's more satisfying to shoot. If they get it right, the shooting in VR can be great.
Really?
Punching because you are punching the air.
Head off.
But you're punching air, if you see what I mean. So that it vibrates in your hand, but you're punching nothingness. Whereas holding a gun and getting the vibration feedback is. And the same Fallout VR. Apparently, that's a full price game at retail.
Oh, so it's not even going to be like an add-on you can buy for Fallout already. You're going to have to buy it again.
I think it's a separate game. I think it's because the other thing I suppose it's worth mentioning is that obviously these are HTC Vive and PSVR exclusives. They're not coming to Rift, and that's because there's obviously a rift between Bethesda and Oculus. There's the ongoing legal battle, but also at the same time you can use Oculus Rift with Steam, which is HTC Vive, so kind of doesn't matter. I don't know. It's cool
At
to
least
see.
someone's doing
You
something
know,
with VR.
yeah, that's what I was
Would
going
be
to say. It's
good.
cool that they're bothering, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Just don't.
They could
I don't
easily
see either of those being necessary for a conference.
No, but they're big names. If you're someone who's into VR, like they're two pretty big names for someone to go. Oh, we're making VR games in this. Oh, cool. You know, it's quite a big get for Sony, I suppose, and HTC Vive, I suppose.
We had Dishonored DLC trailer. I mean, the trailer was alright, but I don't think.
No, that's standalone as well. That's standalone as well.
Is it? That's
Yeah.
pretty,
I've
that's,
not even
that'd be a
played
good 10-hour.
Dishonored.
I don't like
Yeah,
Dishonored.
Maybe try and pick it up when it's on the cheap, but that's the stuff that was alright. But now we're getting to the two big things. We'll start with we'll save the best till last. We had a Evil Within 2 reveal trailer. It was all rumored and everyone expected it, and we got it. The trailer was kind of creepy and had minging bone noises. Adam, are you excited for it? We didn't see any gameplay. I don't even think we got a Oh, we did get release date. Was it this year?
Yes, it's
We got in-game stuff
Did we?
as well.
Yeah, very, very brief though.
It was
But it's in a
quick
trailer,
snaps,
wasn't
but
it?
it was.
It wasn't like gameplay.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it looked like it.
There was some other stuff during the conference. I think they showed some gameplay, didn't they? I'm excited, but it's weird because the questions I have about that game are kind of weird. Like, will it run better? Will they keep the letterboxing? Because I actually never had a problem with that. I don't know about you guys. I didn't mind the letterboxing. I thought it worked.
No, I thought it made it look like what they were going for.
They intended it, yeah. It's like the Resident Evil 4 thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
didn't have a problem with it.
Not at all, but it did run a bit like arse. It does. Apparently now it runs really well on PS4 Pro. And apparently someone did the boost mode thing and it runs well above 30. It looks really smooth. But I don't know. I sort of I like his, the guy behind it. I like his work.
Is it Shinji Mikami?
Yeah, it's still Mikami. Yeah, it's his studio in it. Tango. What are they called? Tango's. I can't remember what they're called. Something like that. Yeah. So it's still his studio or the studio he's with. I just the trailer, it was a bit cinematic, whereas. And it sort of wasn't gameplay indicative cinematic. It wasn't like a cinematic trailer of lots of shooting going on. It was very story focused.
Yeah, it was very fucking weird.
Is it October? It's this year.
Yeah. October 13th. They went for the Friday the 13th, didn't they?
Every time we talk Bethesda, I say this, and I will stop eventually. But it's just another one of those games where I look at it and go, "It'd be real nice if they sent that out early," because they did with the original Evil Within, and I remember playing through it for review before release, and it just, it just makes me a bit sad that things have gone the way they've gone in that respect. But I'll definitely play it, and I look forward to it. But it's just another game that's going to be about story and immersing yourself in the kind of evil darkness and that people are going to bomb through to get a review up, just like Prey. And I think that's a fucking sad state of affairs. But whatever, can't change the world, can we?
No.
Not with that attitude, Adam.
Are you interested in this, Nick?
Oh, I don't know. What, Evil Within?
Yeah.
I have been playing Touch and Promise. I don't know. I've never played one before. I'm a wuss.
But you like Resi 4?
I do.
Yeah, but you like Resi 4, same creator.
Yeah, but I'm a bit of a wuss with horror games now.
Yeah, same.
I'm a right pussy. I can't. I probably would, but it wouldn't be one that I'd be gagging to play right at release.
I tell you what, if I can find it, because I'm sure it was a disc, if I post The Evil Within to you, will you stream it? It's on PS4. I'm sure it was a disc. I'm sure it was, because I've got some weird bobblehead figure they sent as well somewhere hidden.
Right. Maybe.
Will you say that on the podcast? Even if it's just one
Will it
stream,
scare me?
no one will. It will scare the living shit out of you. The first part. Yeah.
Will it scare me like Outlast scared me? Because that fucking scared me.
No.
Oh, really? See, I think
I didn't think it was that scary. It was
Can you remember the opening though?
Yeah, but if you can play Resi 4,
Resi 4's not scary. Give over.
Exactly. That's my point.
Well, this just means you have to say yes, Nick. You have to, because just to see which one of us. Because I think it will shit you up big time. Not the whole game, but the start of it for sure.
Maybe.
Deal?
Okay.
That's not.
If you can find the disc.
Well, you'll be glad to know I've had it sat next to me the whole time.
Oh, what?
No, I haven't. But I'm sure it was a review disc. I'm sure it was.
Right. Okay.
Which means it will be on a shelf over there somewhere.
Yeah, I suppose I'll give it a go.
Fair enough. Done. That's done. And then send it to Dan and make him do it as well, because he doesn't like horror games. Nope.
Yep.
And finally, the big one we got was a massive 8-minute trailer for Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. And this is probably the best game trailer I've seen in ages. I think it was really good to kind of a slow build to the actual game with kind of weird 1950s Nazi TV shows. It really had a. I don't know if any of you have seen The Man in the High Castle.
No.
Which is a
No,
show.
is it good? Is it good?
Yeah, it's classic.
Okay, because it's on my list. I keep meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So it had a really good vibe of that, how the Nazis have taken over and how they have like American values with Nazi twists. It's really, really cool. And then we got into Blazkowicz waking up in this America, and then we just got loads of funny stuff and loads
Thank
of
you. Thank
Nazi
fuck you
killing.
said that. I was getting worried because I thought that trailer was quite funny.
It was so funny when the
And I
guy
was
with
worried
the
I'd gone wrong,
on his face with a bicky. Oh, it was great. And the lady
The
with
grenade.
the grenade.
Yeah, that was great. Do you know, that's the thing that Wolfenstein did. The Bethesda sort of last wasn't. It was a brilliant game. It played wonderfully, but it injected personality and characters into a series that previously was just like shoot the Nazis. And I think that is magnificent. And this looks like it's going to take that and just turn it up to 10. And oh god, that trailer is fucking it's sublime.
But has everyone played New Order?
Yes.
No, it's sat on my hard drive waiting to
You've
play.
got to play it. You've got to play that, Nick. You would love that.
I know,
if you like
I keep-
Doom,
Yeah, so now see the thing is my pal got Doom and Wolfenstein cheap.
Right.
So they're sat on my hard drive, and as you know, I played Doom tail end of last year, and I keep meaning to go and play Wolfenstein because he said it was really, really good, and obviously I've heard it's very good.
it's not as good as Doom, but it is good.
But
I'd say
I think I've
just
heard
keeps
Doom.
slipped. Oh, I love Doom though.
How have you kept it on your hard drive? The reason I ended up playing it was because I was like, I have to get this off my hard drive.
Yeah,
It's like
60
60 gig. Yeah, I have to play this.
2 terabyte external.
Oh,
drive.
okay.
Plus,
So I didn't have at the time.
Plus
It was
the
just
1
the stock one.
terabyte Xbox One S, so I've got 3 terabytes. I've barely used it. I've got like 24% used or something.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Barely used it. I'm rolling in space. Rolling
Must
in
admit,
it.
Mine's
Xbox
the
One's a
same.
4 terabyte as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play it. You got to play it, Nick. You will love it.
I
You will
will
love
do.
it.
I will do. It's just in a very big pile of games that I keep meaning to play.
It's quite
For
long.
me, it was a surprise, and just
Same.
it had such a good story, like you say, such good characters. But I was just afraid, just this one, I would have preferred to have played as Anya.
Interesting. I feel like it'd be weird. I think it'd be a bit weird to go away from a character that's so kind of core to the series. If you get me.
Yeah.
I think I've forgotten the end of it because everyone was going about, oh, I'm surprised he's back. I was like, what happened at the end? I can't. I
Yeah.
don't want to say because Nick's obviously not played it, but
That's it.
I can't remember what happened at the end of that game. I remember the boss battle because it was the only bit in the game that was a bit annoying. It took me about 8 attempts, but I don't actually remember the ending.
See, that's the thing
Obviously-
I don't want to say because
No, you'll have to
not played it. it's
after,
not
after the pod. Like, text me or something because I honestly cannot remember what happens.
there. Yeah.
But as I was saying, this new one looks great. I think the kind of the location, like 1950s America, with also the Nazi twist, it looks really cool. Like the diners and the streets and all that. I think it looks great. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it.
The other thing I was going to say is like that was another game that was around the time the new generation was coming in. So it was another game that was on PS3 and PS4, and it still looked very, very good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking, I mean, some of that trailer stuff, wow, you know, like the bit where, like you said, the milkshake man, where they pan through the street, and like that looks special, doesn't it? That looks,
Yeah,
this
true,
could be, you know, for all the shit we give Bethesda, they do put out some very, very good video games.
Absolutely do. It's just I feel like this conference didn't really have much, but
Yeah.
you know, I think
I
Wolfenstein
can't.
makes up for it.
I can't see how they justified it because I mean,
I wonder if
for
it's
what was
like
essentially 2 games, really.
I mean, I wonder if it's
It's
like
like-
the
it's
E3
like-
thing where you have to pay to keep your space, and if you don't keep your space, you lose it. You know.
Possibly,
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking.
But then
And
it's a briefing, so they could have it wherever they wanted, really, and it's all put on by themselves now. It's not E3 as such, is it? It's like we're putting on a briefing, we're going to do it
Yeah.
here, there, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, absolutely. But Is there anything else anyone wants to say about Bethesda or Microsoft or anything on E3 so far before we wrap this sucker up?
No.
It's
No,
been better than I hoped so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Xbox has gone the way they have, because I mean, I think we were all worried. We all thought it was kind of going bad, but they came out and they've just gone, yeah, fuck it. Here's all these games and a really powerful console. Have that. Your move, Sony, kind of thing. Yeah. But it's the ball is now firmly in Sony's court. They've got
very excited to
they've
see
got
what's
a win. Yeah, they've got to wow us. But we'll see.
I'm excited for Ubisoft as well. I think they're usually good conferences.
I just want to see same as every year, Dan. I just want them to say that the third Rayman game is going to be. They're not going to. They're not going to do that because they hate me. But it's fine. That's why they keep delaying South Park. We'll see Far Cry 5. We'll see a longer Assassin's Creed bit. I should think.
Yeah. I imagine we might get something different with Assassin's Creed, like a different area shown.
Yeah, or just longer, like more of. But like I say, they won't give me Rayman, so whatever.
Well then, if you want to catch up on all the E3 happenings this week, you can go over to godisthegeek.com where there's extensive coverage. And of course, we have so much. These podcasts, these will continue to come after the press conferences later on today. Go over to either the God is a Geek podcast feed or youtube.com/God is a Geek. Hit that subscribe button and get a lovely flow of videos constantly in your feed. You can follow me on Twitter at Mabroski. You can follow Adam on Twitter at GBSF. You can follow Nick on Twitter at wavy_gravy. You can follow Gary on Twitter at BlueFury47.
Well done, Dan.
Oh, smashed it. Of course, you can get us all on Twitter at God is a Geek and at Facebook.com/God is a Geek. And of course, I'm going to say it again for clarity, godisageek.com. So if that's all there is to say,
Dan,
it's time to say goodbye. What?
I'll let Chris know he's fired later, okay?
Okay, no worries. And of course, you get Chris on Twitter.
But cut this bit out.
What's his Twitter? What's his Twitter?
First Avenger 83.
First Avenger 83. Get Chris on Twitter as well. How could I have forgotten? Of course. Alright, if there's nothing else to say, it's time to say goodbye. So say goodbye, Adam.
Adios.
Say goodbye, Gary.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Nick.
Laters.
And it's goodbye from me, c'est la vie.